The mother of all bombs struck with deadly precision, China warns the U.S. about North Korea, and a controversial science bill passes the state Senate. This is OU Nightly.
This weapon was the right weapon against this target.
The United States attack on Afghanistan's Nangarhar province left ISIS tunnel systems in ruins, but there were no civilians killed.
U.S. and Afghan officials say the GBU-43 massive ordnance air blast bomb killed 36 ISIS fighters and destroyed 3 tunnel systems. The mission's main objective to destroy 3 tunnel systems used by ISIS was a success, and military officials are defending the bomb, saying the deployment of the mother of all bombs was the right tactical move. Officials previously estimated 600 to 800 ISIS fighters were in that area.
America's most powerful non-nuclear bomb could have been created in Oklahoma. An Army ammunition plant located in McAllister produces the 21,000-pound explosive that was dropped on ISIS targets in Afghanistan. The bomb has been manufactured there since 2003, but a spokesperson for the plant couldn't confirm if the bomb used yesterday was made in McAllister. And for more on that Okie-made bomb, let's head over to Tori Johnson for the News Center.
Tori.
The U.S. military defended its decision to drop the 21,600-pound Moab in Afghanistan.
Let me be clear, we will not relent in our mission to fight alongside our Afghan comrades to destroy ISIS-K in 2017.
The bomb was GPS guided and capable of destroying an area equal to 9 city blocks. It is America's most powerful non-nuclear explosive. And China has issued a stern warning for the U.S. and North Korea to put an end to their quarreling. Argument has ensued between the countries because North Korea plans to conduct new nuclear tests, and the U.S. has been performing military exercises with South Korea. China's foreign minister urged the parties to refrain from persisting in this tit-for-tat because no one will win. And the Trump administration announced it will not voluntarily release the names of White House visitors. This goes against former President Obama's policy of reporting the names of most guests. Nearly 6 million people were named during Obama's tenure. And Nate and Sydney, Apple received a permit to start testing self-driving cars in California. Back to you both in the studio.
Hopefully all goes well so I never have to pay for an Uber again.
Yeah, and hopefully those cars have sunroofs, maybe a convertible, because it is nice outside. Leah, what can we expect this weekend?
Hi guys, so it is beautiful weather. You know, we've been seeing this really consistent weather all spring with these above normal temperatures, and today once again the temperatures are pretty warm. So currently 80s all across the board, so just gorgeous if you're going to be outside. The winds are a little bit on the gusty side, especially over here in the panhandle of Oklahoma, but once again, you know, very comfortable for today, and so I'll be talking about that in a little bit. So we have a nice evening ahead of us. I'm going to talk about tomorrow and how beautiful of a Saturday it's going to be, and then I'll show you what your Easter forecast is looking. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Leah. The Norman Police Department has recovered a woman and a 1-year-old child who they believe were kidnapped earlier today. The alleged abductions took place on the 1100 Oak Tree Avenue, and NPD felt the victims were in immediate danger. Also in the car was a suspect's 1-year-old son, Jonah Fisher, from a previous relationship. By early afternoon, NPD reported the boy was okay.
We can say that the child has been safely located and reunited with his mother, who is not the woman that was abducted.
Then late this afternoon, NPD tweeted that the woman, 41-year-old Angela Rhea, was safe and speaking with investigators. They're still looking for the suspect, 26-year-old Joseph Cross.
Former OU football player Parrish Cobb is back in trouble again. Police arrested him Wednesday on counts of armed robbery. Investigators say Cobb and another male forced their way into a man's apartment, held him at gunpoint, and demanded drugs and money. After watching surveillance video, police connected the incident to 2 males in a white Ford Mustang, which they traced back to Cobb. Officers contacted Cobb, and he allegedly confessed to going into the apartment with the intent of stealing drugs.
He said that he did not locate drugs, but he did locate cash, and that's what he took.
The other suspect is still on the run.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, a State House employee apologizes for an insensitive email.
Plus, a bill that could change the way science is taught in Oklahoma moves through the legislature. United Airlines is still facing backlash after the forced removal of a passenger off of one of its flights. And many have taken to social media to express their frustration. The attorney for the passenger at the center of the incident is now filing a lawsuit against the airline. OU faculty member Bob Pritchard says the situation could have been handled much better.
If I had been his communications person, I would have first and foremost said the most important audience here is the customer. We'll get to the troops later, but let's get something out now.
Pritchard adds that this incident could have been handled better and will be taught in communication crisis classes for a long time.
State House employee Karen Kipken released a formal apology today after sending a controversial email referring to transgender people as cross-dressers. Kipken says she used a poor choice of words and that she has learned from the incident and has become more educated on the issue. Oklahomans for Equality say they welcome the apology and that education is the first step to an inclusive climate within the state capitol.
A controversial bill that would protect teachers who hold class discussions questioning scientific discovery passed a House panel. Critics of Senate Bill 393 believe it would allow educators to teach unproven theories and promote topics like climate change denial and creationism. Representative David Brumbaugh, one of the bill's authors, claims that the bill will cultivate an atmosphere of critical thinking and objective discussions. The bill would not protect the topic of religion.
James Young of Ardmore has donated $50,000 to keep the Oklahoma State Science Fair up and running. The state was planning to cut the event due to the $38.2 million budget cuts made to the Public School Activities Fund. But Young says the situation was just not right and he happened to have enough money to fix it. State representatives and the school officials throughout the state are praising Young for his generosity.
The Unlearning workshops at OU have a new name and make it more inclusive to students. Community Dialogue Workshops is the replacement name. These workshops are optional and educate students on diversity and inclusion.
We want students, if they're interested in it, to take part in it, and we don't want them to not because of the name of a program. And so it didn't matter to us to change the name of the program. And community dialogue workshops, that is also what they are. So I mean, we're trying to give students a place where they can come together and discuss these things.
If you are interested in attending these workshops, you can register online on the Student Affairs website. And still ahead on OU Nightly.
Nightly's Leah Hill let us know what's happening for this weekend's weather.
Welcome back to OU Nightly, guys. We are looking outside at the clock tower. It is beautiful outside right now, hardly a cloud in the sight. So, what's this going to look like? We're seeing temperatures today generally in the 80-degree mark. So right now, 80 degrees. We have some strong winds actually. So those are going to be a little bit gusty. But, across the state, the temperatures currently are in the 80s. Over here in Guyman, it is a little bit warmer. Lows tonight, it's not going to be dropping too much, in the 60s for most of the state. So pretty consistent. We're right above normal actually, about 10 or so degrees, above normal for this time of year. So a little bit warmer period that we're entering right here. So as you go out the door this evening, temperatures won't be dropping too much. Those clouds will stick around, providing some really nice cloud cover. Winds will still be gusting, so that might provide a little bit of discomfort if you're going to be walking around outside, just having those winds blowing around. So as you go into your day tomorrow, Saturday is looking to be very beautiful. We're going to warm up to 76 degrees, but Sunday is what we really want to talk about. Highs tomorrow are going to stay relatively in the upper 70s to low 80s, but we do have some rain chances coming in Saturday night, just a little bit, nothing too big, just a little bit spotty. Sunday is what, the really interest is, because that is unfortunately Easter, or not unfortunately, but we have these rain chances, so that's not going to be really nice for us if you plan on having an Easter egg hunt outside on Sunday. So severe weather outlook, we do have a marginal risk for some showers and severe thunderstorms on Sunday. Here is your egg hunting forecast. So those rain chances are going to start around 2 p.m. Winds are going to be coming out of the south. Temperatures are going to be warming up to the mid-70s. As you go in towards next week, we are going to be seeing temperatures in the warmer section generally in the 70s. We are going to get close to the 80s for next week, but lots of rain chances coming up this next couple days.
All right, well, thank you for that, Leah.
Yeah, pool weather is on its way. I'm excited.
If you're in the market for a new house, I've got a spot for you. It's secluded, spacious, but probably a little cold. I'm talking about Saturn's moon in Enceladus. NASA announced that its Cassini spacecraft mission has gathered evidence that the moon's icy surface could provide conditions for life.
All right, well, that's it for the news this Friday, but don't leave just yet. We got Big Friday sports coming up.
That's right. Reagan, what's up?
Thanks, guys. Today on Big Friday Sports, both golf teams are hitting the greens this weekend, plus women's gym aims for another national title. Big Friday Sports is next. Welcome to another big week of Big Friday Sports. I'm Reagan. She's Madeline.
That's right. We've got a lot of Sooner sports action to talk about. Reagan, you want to start us off?
Yes, I can. Can you say repeat? Well, the Sooner women are looking to do just that. The OU women's gym team is up in St. Louis this weekend looking to defend their natty. After taking first place in the semifinal one, they are officially on to the Super 6. Of course, Megan Nichols had another top-notch performance with a 9.925 on floor, 9.95 on bars. Chase Capps was also big, nailing a big 9.95 on beam and a 9.9 on vault. But just before we left, our very own Holden Kruismark caught up with them.
23-0 this season and 61 straight wins overall. This Sooners team has a giant target on their backs heading into the national championship weekend, but the team isn't worried about that.
It is very difficult to kind of hold on to those types of things. However, we don't really try to think about that stuff too much. We think about each meet individually and what we can do to be our absolute best, because the best team will win that night.
The number one Sooners will match up in their semifinal on Friday and see some familiar foes on the mat, having played UCLA, Washington, and Denver already this season.
I think it just helps us knowing that we've beat them before, but I mean, you just never know what they're going to bring to the table, so you just need to take it as you've never beat them before and do your best and do what we've been doing in training.
The team's main focus in preparation is to tighten up loose ends and carry the momentum from the regular season over.
It's just to go out there and do what we've been doing in practice. We've been working really hard in the gym, and we just want to go out there and continue our great season and just do what we've been practicing, and hopefully the results will turn out good.
Seeking back-to-back titles and their third overall, this Sooners team is built to last.
I am built to last.
Yes, I'm built to last, yeah.
I am built to last.
Holden Kruismark, OU Nightly.
And the number one ranked OU men's gym team is headed for the playoffs next weekend. 3 members of the team took some time out of their day last Monday to appear on Sooner Sports Pad. Sophomores Yule Moldauer, Levi Anderson, and freshman Matt Winsky were on the show, and Anderson talked to the analyst about taking each day, one day at a time.
We kind of take it one day at a time, one workout at a time. I mean, it's gymnastics. A lot of things can happen in a matter of a day. And we also know that we got guys like Stanford and Ohio State just right on our back. So, I mean, we go in every day with that same aspect of knowing that we could be beaten. So, go in every day with intensity.
Well, if anyone was worried about OU's softball at the start of the year, I think they can now set those worries aside. The Sooners have hit full stride, and their star in the circle is back on her game. Junior Paige Parker sat down a whopping 15 batters via the strikeout last night against Kansas. The Sooners have now won 13 straight and 22 straight Big 12 contests.
And the OU baseball team is off to a rough start in Michigan. The number 18 ranked Sooners fell to the number 13 ranked Wolverines 5-2 last night in the first game of the 3-game series. OU starting pitcher Dylan Grove walked 5 batters and hit a batter to allow 3 runs in the first inning. Game 2 of the series is happening right now, and the score is 12-3 Michigan.
And the 13th ranked men's golf team is closing out their regular season this weekend in Edmond at the Maxwell. The tourney began this morning, and boy, is it a windy one. The 14-team field includes top-ranked Baylor, as well as number 5 Oklahoma State. Top Sooners Brad Dahlke, Grant Hirschman, and Max McGreevy are all in action today. The team is currently 4th at 8 over par.
And the women's golf team will face off against Oklahoma State tomorrow in Norman in the annual Bedlam Cup. The Sooners and the Cowgirls will compete in 36 holes of head-to-head play beginning tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Well, there's just a couple more practices, so the Sooners' spring football season is in the books. With a lot of spots open this year, competition battles are heating up within position groups. The Sooners have a lot of reason to be excited about the new faces in the backfield. Sermon Sutton and Abdul Adams made some statements in the spring game, making for some tough decisions come fall. On the other hand, the defense has 2 of their top stars out for the spring, but Mike Stoops is still optimistic about his group.
It's just been a learning process right now, and we won't be, anywhere close to a finished product until we, start back and get, our guys back on the field and get our healthy, our guys that are injured back. So we got a ways to go, but I think we're getting better.
And as OU's golf teams play in Bedlam, the women's tennis team will as well. Tonight at 5, the Sooners will take on OK State in Stillwater. OU is looking for its 3rd straight match victory.
And still to come on Big Friday Sports, it's almost time for those NBA playoffs.
And a Thunder fan hit a stroke of luck on Wednesday. Stay with us. Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. Reagan, the NBA playoffs start tomorrow. Are you excited?
Of course I'm excited. Look, I've got my Russ poster that the Oklahoma gave to me this morning.
I like it.
But what happened in the last regular season game of the year for the Thunder?
Well, the Thunder's regular season ended with a loss Wednesday night to the Denver Nuggets, a game where Oscar Robertson was present to honor Russell Westbrook. Lost in that celebration was what happened during halftime of that game. Tiandre Nichols, a man from Tulsa, had the chance to win $20,000 if he made a half-court shot, and he did it. Nichols celebrated by removing his sponsored jersey, revealing a Westbrook 1 underneath. As crazy as this shot was, though, OKC fans are no stranger to half-court shots.
That's right, Matt Robbs. Back in 2010, when the video quality was pretty subpar to say the least, Robert Yanders nailed a half-court shot. But just a week later, Todd Lafferty also hit a money ball from way downtown. Look at the arc on that ball. They made 11 total in the last 7 years. When this guy made his, the wife was, well, let's say pretty dang excited. And just last November, Tony Juarez also got into the action right here. Man, these Oklahomans have quite the touch shooting the basketball. Amazes me.
As for the Thunder in the playoffs, they'll take on the Rockets in the first round. The Rockets are the favorites to win the series, but not everybody thinks that is guaranteed.
Yeah, the reason why is I think Houston, you love to shoot the 3 ball, but you just can't play too small in the playoffs. You can't have a team with James Harden, Eric Gordon, Lou Williams, and Trevor Ariza and just think you're just going to make all the threes for a 7-game series. I think they'll definitely win this series, but some kind of way it still comes down to rebounding that basketball.
If you're the Houston Rockets, who have had a heck of a year, probably got Coach of the Year, probably 6th Man of the Year, and Gordon on the team, you're worried about playing this OKC team because he can single-handedly win 4 games out of 7. Because if he goes off for 50 points, 15 and 15, it's hard to beat that team, and he's capable of doing that.
Well, those guys can say whatever they want, but I think it's time to give our take on the playoff matchups. Let's get started. We're going to go stick with that very same game. Thunder, Rockets, Westbrook, Harden. What more could you want? The Rockets are good from downtown, but I agree with Kevin. Russ can win 4 games alone. I see Thunder in 6.
And in the middle of the West, the Jazz and the Clippers go head-to-head. The Clippers are hot, going 11-2 in their last 13 games to take the 4 seed from the Jazz. But staying healthy is key for Los Angeles, but I think if they do that, they can beat the Jazz in 7.
We now look ahead at one of the top teams in the league, the Spurs, and their matchup with Memphis. MVP hopeful Kawhi Leonard is having another top-notch year, and his team is right there with him. The Spurs fell to the Thunder last year in the second round, but I don't see them struggling with the Grizz. I see Spurs in 5.
And after blowing a 3-1 lead in the finals last year, yes, I had to bring that up, the Warriors are starting off this year's playoff run taking on the Trailblazers. The Blazers finished the season at 41-41, and I think they have no chance against the star-studded lineup of Golden State. Warriors in 4.
And to the East we go as we look at the 3-6 matchup. Toronto took the season series with Milwaukee 3-1. DeMar DeRozan is having a big year with just under 30 points a game. I see a close matchup, but I think the Raptors will pull it out in 6.
And in the middle of the East, the Wizards will take on the Atlanta Hawks. Washington finished 6 games ahead of the 5-seed Hawks and beat Atlanta in 3 of the 4 games during the regular season when the 2 teams met. I have the Wizards winning this series in 6.
And your defending NBA champions, the 2-seed Cleveland Cavaliers, have a big matchup with Paul George and the Pacers, but I've got 2 words, LeBron James. The Cavs will roll through this one and be one step closer to another title.
And finally, the Celtics and Bulls face off as the East top and bottom seeds. The Bulls barely squeezed into the playoffs over the Miami Heat. I think Isaiah Thomas and the Celtics easily defeat the Bulls in 5 games. And many athletes throughout history have had a trademark move. I mean, Kareem had the sky hook.
Yep, Tim Tebow has the T-bowing, and Italian cyclist Michael Guerra has what I'm calling aerobike-namics. Don't try this at home, kids. When biking downhill, Guerra goes into a plank position on his bike to help him gain speed.
This event was staged for a commercial, Reagan, but in my opinion, it's no less of an amazing feat.
Look at that. I don't even know how he does that. Just passes everybody. First of all, the ab work on this right now is impressive alone. I can't even do a plank that long on the ground.
Oh, no.
But you can you ride a bike?
Let's not talk about that. Let's
Okay.
not talk about my bike riding skills.
Hey. Well, next time work on that. But
Okay, I will.
It's all good. Well, thanks for watching Big Friday Sports from the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication.
Be sure to check back in Monday with us for a look at the weekend of the world in sports.
Have a good evening.
Good night.